guys? Welcome to this week's weekly bump. I'm just doing this kind of late at night, so I'm not going to do a whole talking head portion. We'll just go ahead and get straight into the cards. So we have pile 1, 2, 3, and 4, all aura quartz. We have a yellow, pink, blue, and a purple or violet. So go ahead, take a moment, feel pulled or feel drawn to a pile. If you have a question, you are free to ask. And the timestamp will be down in the description box and the comment thread down below. Okay, pile number 1, you guys selected the yellow aura quartz. So let's go ahead and see what comes out first for you. So I first begin with, do I know all my strengths and am I using them? Let's go ahead and turn this around because there's really nice sayings and stuff on the back. We all have superpowers, but it's up to us to uncover them. When we live and lead with our strengths, we are able to show up in our zone of genius. This inspires others to do the same. And then it has a soul action. Ask yourself, how can I use one of my soul's gifts today to contribute to this open and ready world? So I think you're in a state of self-analysis right now, looking deep within. Maybe you're feeling a little disempowered. Maybe that's because of what's going on. Hopefully all that stuff is coming to a close. So now you're really able to go forth into the world and, you know, to really be whatever it is you want to be. And you may have been feeling a little, I don't know, maybe it's self-conscious or a little insecure, which is not really what I don't think that's what the world really wants. You know, I don't think the world wants you to feel that way because people's strengths and people's gifts is really what the world needs right now. So whether your gift is just listening to people, or if your gift is being charitable, or if it's teaching people, or if it's using your voice in some capacity, I think now is a really amazing time to be honest with yourself about what those things that you're really good at actually are, and to find a way to start utilizing them and to be able to put them out into the world. Okay, so we're going to start with Judgment. And I love the creativity of the Knight of Cups coming out here. I think this is a very like follow your heart kind of energy. Okay. So there seems to be some question as to how. I think that's the big question here. But the good thing is that the answer is you don't need to worry about how to do this, how to make certain changes. It's just enough for you to want the changes because your angels and your guides and your, you know, your companions here are hearing you. And maybe that's something that you needed to know, that your helpers that are here, they're listening. And you know, it's so crazy. You know, we just had this crazy thing happen in Canada and Nova Scotia, and we're all feeling like this massive shift. And I think the energy is palpable. Like we're feeling that the world is changing. And I don't think it really has anything to do with this pandemic, right? Like the energy is thick. The energy is palpable. Like in empaths and in intuitive people are like, something is going on. And that means that the path, right, it doesn't really have to be seen the whole way through. This is a one step in front of the other kind of energy, Knight of Cups. This is an opportunity for you to just take just today and just tomorrow and not worry so much about the rest. The angels will come, right? Things are evening out. And I think maybe there's a fear of like, well, what if it doesn't? Or what if I try to do X, Y, or Z and it doesn't work out? But the Four of Swords says, you know, just be at rest. And if you find yourself overthinking things a little too much, to do whatever you need to do, go for a walk, breathe in some fresh air, you know, whatever you like. Like for me, it's always, oh, just grab a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or something like that and just kind of sit down and relax and just don't really think too much and try not to attach. And I know that some people have like anxiety and that's a really difficult thing to do. And I don't mean to minimalize that in any way, shape, or form. But if you can, try very hard not to attach too much. I think this is something of like, well, okay, I have all these things I want to do, but I don't know how. And yet the universe says like, don't be afraid, don't worry. Like that's up to us to really show you how to do that. All you need to do is just wake up in the morning and just go about your business, and these opportunities will show up on your doorstep. Because there's kind of an end of a line here with some things. I'm not saying it's your job. I'm not saying it's, the end of all things. I'm not trying to be all super doomsday or whatever, but the Ten of Swords does signify that, there's an ending and a beginning, right? The number 10 is always, met with the number 1. It's the end of a cycle. It's a turnover of a cycle. And the new cycle is you using your strengths. And okay, maybe there's a little fear, maybe there's a little stress around it, but justice is here to say, don't worry. If you put it out into the world in some capacity, if you listen to those people, if you give in that way, if you create in this way, it will come back around. And that's what justice always promises. And now that we have Saturn in Aquarius, and we have this Jupiter-Saturn conjunction happening near the end of the year, I think there's this very quick turnaround thing happening. So it's not as though you're going to have to wait very long to start seeing the effects, to start seeing the ripple of what's happening. Okay, so it's really important for you to know that you're in a very, like a spiritual juncture, if you will, for lack of a better phrase. It's a spiritual juncture. And you're coming like a junction, right? Like one freeway meets another freeway. Like you're at that junction. And now it's time for you to, get off the I-15 and head onto the I-80, right? So it's time for that 90-degree angle to turn. So let's see what else comes out here. The crown, oh my gosh, you guys. Crown chakra, suffering in silence. Okay. Hopefully this isn't too bad. Hopefully I'm not getting such a heavy vibe, but there's clearly something going on in your mind, right? Clearly you're running some kind of narrative, saying some things and whatever. But the crown chakra with the Judgment card, also with justice, to me signifies that you are deeply spiritual connected right now. Like really, really connected, and you're receiving massive amounts of information, and it's all coming back to your strengths. It's all coming back to your natural affinities, the things that you were just born with, that you don't have to try for. And the crown chakra is your divine inspiration, right? Your open channel. It's where the material meets the spiritual. You guys are on this precipice. I mean, this is kind of a crazy time. It's an exciting time. And honestly, all you have to do now is just listen and not try to put all the pieces together, at least not this week, okay? Just wake up tomorrow, do your thing, wake up today, do your thing, and just, that's it. And you'll be surprised when doors starts opening. Lizard spirit, dream the world into being. I love this card because it's a reminder that our thoughts and our emotions are the creators of our immediate world. We can, create doors that open. We can create opportunities that come in. We can create people. We can create love simply by what we are. Knight of Cups. A Knight of Cups is very open. He doesn't have a lot of restrictions. He doesn't overthink things. He doesn't, hold himself back. He's not fearful. He just does whatever he does because he loves the creation aspect of it. So what is it that you really want to create? Dream the world into being. This could be something small for yourself, or it could be something really big. Like I was saying, the energy of the globe is definitely shifting. I think a lot of us are feeling it. And if you're kind of at a loss for what you want to do for yourself, maybe it's just a matter of meditating and using that as an act of service for the world, for the good. You're kind of powerful right now, I would say. You do have some superpowers coming out. And like I say, there's a fast turnaround. So when you think it, when you feel it, it comes into being. Now, this suffering in silence, clearly there's something going on that you're not saying to people, or maybe it's very unconscious. Maybe you don't even know that there's, like, you just feel off, maybe it's not so loud and yammering. Maybe it's just, you just feel a little bit off. And that's probably because you are highly empathic and you are highly intuitive, and you're picking up on the fear of people around you, or you're picking up on just the energy of things that are happening. But ultimately, you can release that and you can open yourself up and start contributing to the higher vibration of the world. Okay, so I mean, this is kind of a powerful reading, you know? Don't let your past hold you back. South Node. The past of when you were afraid to do the things you were good at, or you were afraid to express yourself, or you were afraid to take that leap. You were afraid to say the thing. Don't let the past hold you back. I feel opening with you guys, like heart chakra, crown chakra connection, opening. When you have a direct line to the divine realm, such as with this Judgment card, there is never any reason for fear. Fear and this kind of Nine of Swords stuff is what shuts the door. It's what shuts the door. So, do you want to shut the door? I don't think you do, right? Don't let the past hold you back. Hold you back. I don't think that's what you guys want. I think you want to be in a position where you are contributing and feeling fulfilled and feeling satisfied with your life and with this world. And so now I think you're kind of up against some pretty interesting decisions. And it has nothing to do with major changes externally. It's not like you have to go change your job. It's not like you have to move. Like, you don't have to do those things. But something needs to come out. I think there's a divine yearning that's very powerful, very palpable for you. And it's going to come to that point where you can't really ignore it, Nine of Swords. Maybe this isn't even fear. Maybe this is you saying, I know I need to, I know I need to. And the suffering is you knowing what you need to do and not doing it, Ten of Swords. Maybe that's what it is for some of you. So the element is just go. Okay. I did pull out some romance cards. Make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. So if you are in a romantic relationship, and there seems to be distance between the two of you, maybe that's really what this is. Maybe there's a gap between two people, and Venus retrograde is, you know, she's going to be doing that in the next couple of weeks. So there's definitely going to be some interesting romantic elements that come forth. If you have something to say, you need to say it. If you want emotional openness, you need to be that as well. And then we also have feeling family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. This reading is rife with compassion and love, and specifically for yourself, specifically for your life, and also for others and all. So you're healing intensely, and you are becoming more whole than ever before. And I know I feel like I keep saying that, but I think that's going to be a message for the upcoming years for everybody. We're becoming more whole, especially if you are on the spiritual track. If this was the path that you chose, if this was the path you decided to take, then you have to take it and you have to do the things that it requires, and healing is a part of it. Healing is a very important aspect because healing begets change, and change begets spiritual liberation, which with the crown chakra and the Judgment card tells me that that's where you guys are headed. So this is necessary. Dove, take a leap of faith. Put your strengths to work, right? Do you know all your strengths? Are you using them? There's an element of peace, you guys. Angels and doves. Angels and doves. And there's even an angel in this card here. So it does tell me you're surrounded. It does tell me people are watching out for you. And I feel like there's almost kind of like permission, if you will, from your guides to say, do it. Like, we'll catch you. Like, take the leap. Let go. We will catch you. I don't know if any of you needed to hear that, but this is giving me really just almost kind of making me feel a little bit emotional, even just because maybe that's something that you needed, you know, to just say, like, do it. and it will be celebrated. Okay? All right, you guys, I'm going to leave you with that. Have an amazing week. I really wish you nothing but the best, all right? Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, pile number 2, you guys selected the pink Aura Quartz. So let's go ahead and see what these cards have to say. So I started off with this kind of self-awareness deck. So it says, how can I be more flexible right now? What are you trying to control? Maybe it's time to let go. Let love move through you today and trust the outcome will be for your highest good. Today's soul action is to remind yourself all day long that you are safe, that life is happening for you, and that you are not alone. Then do some yoga. Okay, so there you go. How can you be more flexible right now? How can you move and be agile? And then, well, there you go. We got the Knight of Wands there, which is definitely a very agile energy. Okay, wow, a lot of movement actually, I feel. Are you guys in relationships? Do you have partnerships? There seems to be like 2 people on each side, very much in different directions here. I'm not sure. It could be someone at work or some parent, or it could be a significant other. Definitely someone that you're looking in the opposite directions here. You know, one's going one way, the other's going another. I think you have energy. I think there's things you want to do. There's things you want to see, you want to create, you want to go, you want to, leave the house. Maybe you're getting really restless. I'm not sure, but there seems to be, kind of some energy flowing and directing you somewhere, even if it's just to go do something new or something novel. I think your creativity is flowing very strongly right now as well. I feel like you're the fire people. You're the King of Wands, you're the Knight of Wands. We got a lot of wand energy. And then we have this kind of I'm so sorry, this is terrible, but the words that are coming to my mind, like a stick in the mud. Someone who is just, I don't know, maybe they're being really stubborn. Maybe they're, maybe they're not wanting to be flexible. They don't want to be agile. Like they just want control over things. I think you're okay with not having control over things. I think you're like, oh, okay, so, so things are different. That's fine. Let's just move around it. We'll adjust. We'll adapt. That's fine. You're in a really high level place right now. I think thinking about your life, thinking about what you got to do for the week, thinking about your tasks, all that kind of stuff. And I think that's a great place to be. I don't see why that's a negative thing at all. This King of Cups, though, I think there's something deeper going on with them. There's something that, I don't know, maybe they're feeling a little powerless. Maybe they're feeling, I think their world is adjusting and they don't like it. I think this is someone who just really wants to just go back to the way it was. Let's go back to normal. Whereas I think you're okay with things not going back to normal, whatever that means, right? Like, you want to be able to go to the store and you want to be able to go to the coffee shop and you want to be able to go to that restaurant for lunch and stuff. But for some reason, I feel like you've learned a little bit more from this experience than this other person. And this other person is, I think, just maybe there's some inside stuff going on. There's some stuff surfacing that really doesn't have anything to do with you. I wouldn't let that impact your creative projects if that's possible. I wouldn't let that impact your work life and your career and the goals that you have for yourself. There are some things that you really just got to do for yourself, and sometimes you really just have to leave someone behind. And this Venus retrograde thing is creeping up here, and we've got this Neptunian influence with Venus as well. So there could be some people maybe coming into your life, maybe someone who is definitely from the past, who's kind of makes their way in. This can often be a card of communication sometimes. So maybe something creeps in. Maybe they're considering things, but I don't see you guys looking back at all. And actually there's kind of a card of caution here. Be cautious of how much you listen to what someone has to say, or be cautious of believing a little too readily, because maybe there's something that needs to happen in terms of, like, maybe this situation got to a point where now someone needs to prove something to you. Do you know what I mean? Not that that's the best place to be, but because of the reversal here, it does make me just a little bit nervous that someone actually now has to take some kind of a step or make some kind of an action in order to get you to turn around to pay attention. Like, they can't just show up and that's it. Like, there has to be some kind of real thing on the table. And I don't see you being, caught up in that kind of stuff at all, right? The flexibility, that ability to just kind of move and to adjust and to unblock yourself. I mean, that's a good thing for you. So, I see you're just in a good place. What can I say? Deception and envy. Third eye chakra. All right, well, there we go. Your intuition has to be super on point right now. And I think it is. Because you're here. You're wanting to have those changes, to have that, that swiftness, that motion. And I think you're able to see through things. Now, deception and envy doesn't have to be like someone is purposely coming in and, causing some kind of crazy situation. I mean, it could be for some of you, but all I'll say on just kind of a very surface level is just that things just aren't what they seem. That's it. Just things just aren't what they seem. So it's not advisable to just believe everybody, especially if someone comes in like kind of flashy, like, look at me, all like a peacock, That's something you should definitely be skeptical of and definitely cautious of over here. And just say, okay, well, like, you can behave and do what you want, but you really gotta, do the work. You really gotta show me. You gotta put your money where your mouth is, because I'm not about to just believe at this point or at this juncture. And your intuition is really gonna be able to, it's almost like cutting through glass. Like, you're gonna be able to just see so clearly through someone else's antics or through someone else's words or the way they present themselves or whatever. And that's it. It's just you trusting your gut and not letting someone else's little games kind of hold you back in any way, shape, or form. And that's something that maybe someone is envious of you of, is that you are so light. For whatever reason, you haven't, let certain circumstances hold you back or pin you down or make you feel a certain way. And you're just buoyant and happy and jovial, and you're just doing you. That's something that a lot of people do get jealous of. Like, when people are happy and they don't want them to be happy, but that's not your problem. That's not really your cross to bear. So I just see you being unbothered. What can I say? That's just what I see. Watch and wait. Well, there you go, right? Keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes peeled. I see this guy kind of very much on guard. Watch and wait. Just allow people to tell on themselves, because this is going to be very obvious very soon, and your intuition is going to know. Like, you're going to get that feeling. You're going to be like, something's strange. I'm just going to keep my eye on it. I'm just going to watch it from afar. I'm not going to invest. I'm not going to commit. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to see how this pans out. So this week, something interesting may happen. It might be in the weeks to follow, but that kind of be patient, step back, observe, that kind of energy is definitely coming out for you, like starting now. Keep yourself on your own track. Like, this is fun. Like, who wouldn't want to be in a Sagittarius, Leo kind of mind state, right? It's positive, it's joy, it's pleasure seeking, it's creative, it's fun, it wants to learn, it wants to go, it wants to move. Like, who doesn't want to be there? That's a great place to be. Meditate and contemplate. So here you have what I feel deep spiritual connection alongside spiritual passion and like ignition, right? You're feeling ignited. You're feeling that spark. And I love this new moon in Pisces, meditate and contemplate, because it's you exhibiting your caution, thinking things through, watching and waiting, keeping your eye on it, just observing very quietly, because that something else. I was going to say something's fishy, and then we have the fish from the Pisces card. Well, yeah, like something's a little fishy. Something's just a little bit off. So, I think you're doing the right thing here, which is great. Oh, getting to know each other. For those of you who are romantically inclined, this could also just be partnerships as well, just any kind of partnership. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. Maybe this sort of skepticism here is really like, let me, just please show me your true colors. Because I look at this Emperor reverse and I don't really see someone who is so good. Like, I think they really struggle with being open. I think they struggle with having their heart chakra open. They struggle with vulnerability. They struggle with softness and femininity. You know, like a wand energy is good with both masculine and feminine, heart chakra wise. They can give and receive. But an emperor is a little tough, a little hardened. Okay, life just kind of pushed them in a certain way. And, you know, you're going to need to be able to be flexible. All right. Not everyone can be like you either. Passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. So if there is a romantic connection for you, I think you're going to be feeling a little bit amorous, you know, feeling like you want that sexual connection. You want that kind of tantric making love kind of thing. It's not just about, you know, banging each other. It's about the universal connection and the connection with the universe. And I don't know if it's going to be this one here. Maybe that passion is more in your creative efforts, though. Especially if you're kind of in a weird place with your significant other, that passion can be channeled into other creative things. Competition. Summon courage and self-confidence. I don't know. I think you're pretty good right now. Just keep doing what you're doing, guys. If you're questioning your path, you shouldn't, right? Because you're being guided by this third eye chakra here. You're being guided by that mind's eye and that spiritual kind of antenna, that all-seeing, all-knowing eye. So you're good. And maybe someone else is needing confidence, clearly deception and envy. If you're feeling envious of others, the roles might be a little bit reversed and you might need to say, what can I do to unstuck myself? Because clearly your energy is blocked somehow. So again, on the back of the card, right, we had do yoga. That'd be an excellent thing for some of you to do if you're relating a little bit more to that reversed emperor here, or if you're feeling envious or jealous of someone else. That's insecurity speaking. So instead of someone delving in and, you know, swimming around in jealousy, take that and convert it or alchemize it into inspiration and allow someone else to be your inspiration. You see? And maybe some of you are the inspiration for someone else. You know, and that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful role to play in someone's life. So keep going, okay? All right, you guys, I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you so much. I wish you nothing but the best. Have an amazing week, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, pile number 3. You guys selected the blue Aura Quartz, so let's go ahead and see what this says. First card, what do I resist feeling right now? And on the back, there's like extra stuff, so we'll read the whole thing. We have to feel it to heal it. In order to let go of pain, we first have to honor its existence. Emotions are like waves. Some are soft, some are fierce, some are layered, and some will sweep you off your feet. When we allow ourselves to feel it all, we can then release what no longer serves us. Today's soul action: allow yourself to feel this wave. Let it move through you, no matter how long it lasts. Then release it back into the ocean. Feel it. Heal it. Enjoy the sweet freedom within your soul. So there's emotion around you, in you. Allow yourself to feel it. Allow yourself to go deep with what's going on internally. The healing, you guys, is so important. Clearly, this globe, the whole world, the globe, all of humanity, Gaia herself, is healing. And I think all of you who are, consider yourself to be intuitive and empathic, you're feeling it. And it's not just your emotion, it's ancestral emotion, it's global, it's Gaia, it's humanity, it's everything. And it's big right now. The energy is so big right now. So Hierophant, Queen of Swords, Temperance. I think this is a really great energy to have, this Queen of Swords, because to me, I think she's very logical about her spirituality. Let me kind of go deeper. So she knows in her mind what she needs to do, and she knows that if she just allows it to happen, or she allows herself to do it, then it will be over, right? To feel the things, to stop resisting what you feel, and to just do it. And she takes a logical approach to it. Like this is a time when logic and emotion seem to be working well together. They seem to be in partnership, in tandem. Knowing what you need to do and having the capacity and strength to do it, knowing that it will be better off in the long run. You have this inner knowing. Now, the Hierophant is one of my favorite cards. And he was a card that when I first started learning the tarot, I used to I never knew how to really interpret it. But with my own self journey, I've discovered how powerful the Hierophant energy really is. And what he represents truly is the conscious knowing, right? We have the Hierophant, or the High Priest, and we have the High Priestess, and they're kind of partners in this whole thing. So the High Priestess is a much more quiet, intuitive place, but the Hierophant is very brilliant. He is your inner compass, the inner judge inside of you that knows what's right and what's wrong, that knows what is moral and immoral, that knows what is in your best interest and not in your best interest. He's the rock, the place that you can always come home to. And he will always be there, right? You will always be there. So Hierophant is here. He's here for you guys, and you have angels. You have divine entities around you. A lot of people equate this with Archangel Gabriel, right? The messenger. He's here to deliver a message, and he is here to tell you to stop resisting, because the healing is important. And it's not just for you, it's a large part for you, but it's for your ancestry. Like I said, it's for Gaia, it's for humanity. And the more people that are taking this on, the more whole and the more complete the world becomes. And there should be no fear. There should be no stress. There should be no insecurity, because Nine of Coins suggests it will be great, right? It will be great. And if you're dealing with financial issues right now, I'm telling you, when the Nine of Coins comes out, it will be okay. You will get a job. You will get X, Y, and Z. You will be able to pay your rent, or, you'll be able to keep your car or whatever, right? It will be okay. And Nine of Coins, to me, she's in this beautiful garden, right? She's deeply connected, intrinsically connected with the earth. She's very in her body, right? The earth is, the earthly component is our bodies. She's very in her body. She, walks around barefoot in the ground and connects with the earth. And she feels truly complete in this experience. I think one of the problematic things about life is just that we do feel so disconnected. We do all these actions. We go make money. We go do this. We go do that. We fall in love. We have all these kinds of relationships. And yet it's like we're so disconnected from everything. More connected than ever and more disconnected than ever. So this is a story of true connection. And when you stop avoiding emotions and you stop avoiding feelings, you then become unified. And when you become unified, you become satisfied. And I think you're totally okay with this moonlit energy. Now, the Neptune influence is starting to come out to play here. We have Venus, she's still going direct right now, but she'll be making her way retrograde in the middle of May, alongside of Saturn and Jupiter, both going retrograde like in the same couple of days. And oops, sorry. And the Neptune influence will come out to play, and there can be some weird things that surface or weird people that come out, and it's just going to be a little bit strange. But I think with your wholeness and your completion here, this is more of a beautiful adventure that is full of infinite possibilities. Like, I don't see you being in a rush to get anywhere. I don't see you being in a rush to make all these things happen. I don't see you forcing things and pushing and trying to figure stuff out. It's a very relaxed energy, but logically so. Like I said, the emotional component and the intellectual component are working in tandem here, because she knows what she's got to do, and she knows that there's another side to it. And logically, she knows that this moon energy is a beautiful thing, and that it is full of infinite possibilities and infinite healing. And she knows that the world is going to turn over, and she knows that, you know, this portal is opening, and it's all very black and white. It's all very clear. And now she knows she's just got to kind of do the work. And in fairness to the Queen of Swords, in fairness for the Hierophant, you need to do the work. And it might not even be that big of a thing. It might be something that you've been putting off just because you think it's going to be a big thing. But in reality, I see no indication that it is. It's something that you can do, you can handle, and that's it. Okay, so we have a card of spiritual strength and accelerated motion with a shooting star. Stop it. A shooting star? Forget it. This is like a magic, right? We have this kind of Buddha, this spiritual guru holding up some like massive temple here. The spiritual strength to stop resisting is, you know, that's one thing that I don't think people talk about enough, is that it takes a lot more courage to feel the feelings. It takes a lot more courage to be vulnerable, to be human, than it does anything else. It takes a lot of courage to be imperfect in today's day and age, right? And luckily, the dialogue is changing. Luckily, the narrative is changing. Advertising and things are changing to make us like feel like, okay, we don't have to be perfect photoshopped versions of ourselves all the time. Like, we can just be the way we are, and it's okay, you know? And so you seem to be bearing that load admirably. And I think other people see it. If I'm being honest, I do. I think other people are looking in at you, and they're saying, wow, you know, this person is growing, but they're mature, and they're powerful, and they're confident and comfortable. And, you know, there's a sense of joy always with the Nine of Coins, but it's not like loud. It's a true essence. It's just an energy. Accelerated motion, things moving quickly. Start casting your wishes. Who knows, maybe this feeling that you might be resisting is just simply something that is the one thing keeping you from realizing this dream. Maybe it's just the one thing. Turtle spirit, slow and steady wins the race. And yet you do win. And yet you do win. Now it's accelerated and slow. Interesting how those things are kind of going together. Interesting how we have the World card reversed as well. This is one of those things, I think, where you lose time, where it feels like forever, but then all of a sudden you're on the other side and you're like, wow, that was so fast. It seems like perspective here is very skewed, and your experience, right? Because we know that time is created by consciousness. So your consciousness is kind of losing its hold on things a little bit. So you're going to feel things speeding up, but you are going to be taking things slow and steady. I see no pressure, no rush, no stress here at all. So you're in a really good spot. A win-win outcome is forecast. Well, there you go. Full moon in Libra. So if you are in a romantic relationship, like I say, this might be a lot smaller than you think it is. It might not be as monumental, because I'm not getting cards of like stress. It's more just a spiritual, you know, just kind of a spiritual strength that it takes. but it's going to work out. So I did pull out romantic cards. I think with the Venus retrograde, you know, there's going to be a lot of romantic stuff coming out. Give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. And deception. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. Okay, so some of you may be dealing with, maybe it's your own mask. Maybe you feel or you can intuitively tell that someone else. And it doesn't necessarily mean that they're lying or that they're doing all this terrible stuff. It's just, it's not real and authentic. There's something off about it. And there could be fear present either in yourself or in someone else. So maybe this, what do I resist feeling, is just simply vulnerability, or maybe you're even ignoring an intuitive thing that you know that something is off with someone else. It's just the acknowledgement, I think, that's very important for you, just simply to acknowledge that something is there. It's almost, I'm kind of feeling like an elephant in the room. Can I say that? Like there's an elephant in the room and no one is talking about it. There's an elephant in the room and people are just walking around it. And like it's so weird, right? You have to talk about it. You have to bring it up. You have to take your mask off. Whether it's you or someone else, or both, maybe. Give your relationship a chance. Now, you guys, be careful. With this Venus retrograde, I don't want you to jump in with an ex. I just want to be clear. I don't want you to meet someone, fall in love, boom, and get married in 2 months. That's not what it's saying. If you've already been in a relationship or a connection or a business partnership and it's been rocky, now is an excellent time to recalibrate. If someone comes back from the past and you want to give it a second chance, slow and steady. Take it really, really, really slow. I would put sex on hold for a while. And if it still is, you know, doing well through August, September, October, you know, then you can start to, I know that sounds like a really, really long time, but because of the nature of Neptune and the stars, there can just be some weird things that happen. So just make sure you're cautious and make sure you're smart and make sure you're using your logic. It's going to serve you well. Creative wonderment. Follow your passion. Oh, that's so pretty. I love her dress in this card. Creative wonderment. And isn't that really all we are here for anyway, is to create, to learn how to create, to learn how to, you know, bring things in and out of our world, in and out of our existence. Follow your passion. Maybe your passion is with another person, maybe. Maybe your passion is with a project right now. Maybe it's with some, you know, creative thing you're doing. Maybe it's with meditation. Maybe you're really enjoying being at home. Whatever makes you happy. The things that make us happy usually unblock us. Usually. So do that. Okay, and I even love the blue here with the creative ending here, because this is a card of our 5th chakra, which is deeply connected with our voice and therefore our creation mechanism as well. It's really beautiful. Okay, I'm going to leave you guys with that. Thank you so much. I wish you nothing but the best. I hope you have an amazing week. Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, pile number 4, you guys selected the purple Aura Quartz, so let's see what the first card is for you. It says, when was the last time you danced freely? Let's read the back here. Dance, because it will shift you into a beautiful state, because it will get you out of your head and into your body and heart, because fear lives in the head along with anxiety, control, guilt, frustration, and impatience. In just a few minutes of dancing, you will make the shift. You will feel a charge of joy and confidence take over, and you will feel a soul reminder to live and lead from your heart. Dancing is a tool to ground us in the now. It triggers happiness, and it is the gateway to freedom. To become free, dance. And then there's like a today's soul action. It says, it's just dance for 3 minutes to your favorite song. Notice the inward fire grow within, and the feeling you feel just being you. You are a wild, loving force. Express it with dance today. You know, A lot of the yogis tell you to dance to clear your karma. They tell you that it's a very good activity for detaching. Gets the blood flowing, it unlocks the energy centers. Very healthy. It's no wonder why every culture in the world, and we can even look today to a lot of the, the tribal cultures even still incorporating dance, every night they dance. And that's a beautiful thing. So let's take a look at these cards. We have Strength, Four of Coins, the Lovers, Queen of Coins, reversed, Six of Swords, and the Seven of Cups. I love the color. I love the yellow. The yellow is really popping for me right now. Deeply connected with that solar plexus, the sun energy, strong solar qualities coming out. It tells me you have electricity inside of you that is just like, there's energy here. You might be struggling a lot with, this continuing to stay at home, or feeling very frustrated with, the locked in kind of thing, and even the financial conservatism. You'd be like, oh my God, I really just wish I could go buy something like a normal person. And that's temporary, hopefully, and it will be over soon. I'm seeing just like a charge of passion with the Lovers, and Strength is coming out, suggesting, that you're like in this lion, royal, passionate, creative, Gemini, Leo charged kind of place. This is like air and fire coming out. It's really amazing. I just hope that you have, maybe that's why the dance, like dance to release the energy. Maybe you really just got to just get it out of you. Go for a run, do something. Because maybe you will be divinely inspired when you do that. Maybe something will come to you. Maybe you'll have some kind of an epiphany. I'm definitely feeling that. An epiphany. Like a stroke of brilliance almost. And I love this Lovers and the connection with the sign of Gemini, because Gemini is all about, our life force, our vitality. It is about connection and just feeling like the excitement of this human experience just in general, and just really capitalizing on the moments that you have. And I feel like you are reprioritizing, and you may have been doing that over the past several weeks. Just really like putting things on the back burner that really don't need to be on the front burner, and not even really caring that much about it. Maybe you're really handling this, this shift really well. Maybe some of you aren't wanting to go back to work so much. Maybe you're just really enjoying things and enjoying your free time and maybe some of you are having really amazing ideas for like a side hustle that could become something more important in your life. Maybe you have been feeling like you actually want to pull the trigger on something and actually want to really make something happen. But I also don't necessarily know that you're pushing too far for the future, like you're not trying so hard to make anything happen. That seems to be a theme for the week, is there's not a lot of effort. It's just slow and steady, and you're just moving forward and you're taking whatever steps. And normally this card of Seven of Cups can be a time of confusion, but I like it. I like that you guys have a lot of options for yourself, and I don't see this Seven of Cups causing problems. If it's dating and you're online dating right now, this can often be connected with like virtual connectivity, which I think applies to literally everybody right now. But if you are dating and you have a lot of options, I don't see anything wrong with that. Because I like this because it's for you. It's not for anybody else. This is also like, okay, great. I have a lot of potential doors I could open. It's good to know. Like, it's not even you really wanting to open up any doors. It's just nice to know that they're there. And right now, I think your main focus really is on this vitality and this just feeling of being supercharged and maybe even joyful to some extent. Although, there is that restriction, right? When was the last time I danced freely? And then this Four of Coins. So maybe you are a little bit, the words I'm actually getting, I'm getting a feeling of being hunched over. I'm like seeing her being hunched, and she's kind of hunched, and we have these hunched people over here. Maybe even just some back stretches would be really beneficial for you guys. Get that spine, twisting and moving, get that flexibility going will be really beneficial for you. Okay, ooh, the waiting game, but then we have the passion ignited. What was I just saying, right? It is something like something hit, or it's gonna hit. Something's gonna just creep into your heart and you're not even gonna really know what hits you. You're not gonna know where it even came from. This is often how the divine really speaks to us. It speaks to us through that, you know, oh my God, all of a sudden I want to do this. And we kind of can even sometimes get a little bit obsessive about it. Sometimes it is a new business, a new venture. It could be a new creative project at work. It could be a new lover. Although because Venus retrograde and her connection with Neptune, now she's not officially retrograde this week. She's in shadow. She won't be going retrograde until the middle of May alongside a Jupiter and Saturn retrograde, all happening within like a few days of each other. But still, we can still have some interesting effects during this time. So this waiting game here, to me, I think is just, you know, waiting to really open up a door. I think you're setting yourself up very well. You're laying the groundwork, you're caught up on things, and you have a little bit more freedom. And now you're just waiting to see where kind of the world goes. Maybe you're waiting to see how the world starts opening up. You're waiting to see how things shift. And even the kind of the lines on this card, I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's like lines that really do indicate the solar system. We even have that awkward angle one, which represents Pluto here. And there seems to be like a turning over or just waiting for the right planetary alignments is kind of what I'm hearing. You're waiting for the right planetary alignments to get to that position where you know it's okay for you to start, plucking down one of these cups or taking down a couple and grabbing things and start, really not just having options, but actually taking the options, which is great. I think that's beautiful. Set healthy boundaries, okay? 4 of Coins, boundaries. What do you need boundaries for? What's going on in your life that you need boundaries? If there is an ex coming back, you might need a boundary for that. If there is a little bit too much demand from work, might need to set a boundary with that. Ultimately, what I think the boundary is to keep you free. Right? Like, it's not boundary to protect yourself emotionally or spiritually. It's like more of a boundary of your time. I'm feeling an element of time coming through for some reason. Not quite sure why. Saying no to things so that you can have more time. There's also an innocence, I think, with an armadillo. I don't know if you guys have ever really seen one. I used to have them where I used to live, and they're very docile, they're just kind of quiet and there's not a lot of like drama with them. They just kind of do their thing. And yet, man, do they have some armor on? Like they really do. They are full on protected. So you got to make sure you protect the things that are important. Ooh, a fiery climax approaches, full moon in Aries. Yeah, what is going on with this this energy? It's just like it's supercharged. I haven't done a reading like this for a while, so this is really exciting. Move your body, guys, like for real. If you guys have an at-home workout place, you can work out in your living room, whatever, like please do that. To be in your body is going to be an excellent activity for you to do this week for sure. There's going to be something that really does have, like I said, the right planetary alignments, and boom, you're going to be able to just take off. You're going to be able to just go. So I think maybe the cleaning up of the energy and expelling some of that will be really healthy, because then you'll be able to really redirect your focus at the right time. Redirect your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. Okay, some of you probably need to hear that. And forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. Okay, maybe that's what the dancing is really all about. For me, I think this reading had a lot of like components that weren't really tying together. And yet here we have this. Now, I know not everyone is in a romantic relationship and you're not always here for that, but sometimes we do have more healing, and sometimes that can surface in the unexpected times. Some of you may experience unexpected emotions coming up, things from the past coming up. Very important for your current relationships, very important for your current progress. You know, the world is going through a massive healing right now. The globe, Gaia, humanity, society, nature, just everything. There's a major shift happening, no matter how empathic you think you are or aren't. I'm pretty sure you guys can feel it. I think the energy is palpable, that something is happening globally and in terms of the collective. So your own individual healing, your own, it even says, time has come to clear your energy, right? To clear your karma, to clear your attachments. It is so important. You know, we always say, I'm healing, but some people really don't realize the importance for our spiritual development and for the future of humanity, how important that kind of stuff is, to take the time to really do that. And it's not about dwelling in the past, right? That's not what this is. It's about releasing and forgiving and feeling compassion for both yourself, your past self, and anyone else involved. So you're going to clearly be coming up against some of that stuff. And it's going to be important for you to know the reason it's coming up is so that you can let go. All right? Stop it. Letting go. Learn to let. How many messages do we have to have like that? Clear your energy. Release the past. Dance, right? Let it go. Let it go. And, easier said than done sometimes, but I think now's a time, astrologically, when you're just going to feel it like shedding off of you, like it's just going to drip off you. And then it won't be in your consciousness anymore. It won't be in your path. And you're free to move and adjust as needed. So, I mean, this is really a beautiful week, I think, for everybody. And as the world starts opening up, you know, there's kind of a lot of rumors of that going on. So people start opening up and economy starts opening up. We ourselves are going to be opening up in a certain way as well. So it really is a beautiful thing, you guys. I wish you nothing but the best. I hope you have an amazing week. All right, I'll talk to you very soon in the monthlies. Take care. Bye-bye.